Then the police came. I went in the house. Because they got magnums too. And they don't kill cars. They kill niggas. Police got a chokehold they use out here though, man. They choke niggas to death. That mean you be dead when they through. Right? Did you know that? Wait, the niggas going, yeah, we know wife. No, I had no idea. Yeah, two grab your legs, one grab your head, it'll snap. Oh shit, he broke. Can you break a nigger? Is it okay? Let's check the menu. Yep, page 8, you can break a nigger right there. See? Let's drag him downtown. Okay. And they got them dogs that sick on your ass, right? Them German shepherds and shit. Nasty motherfuckers, right? Some places they got them Dobermans, Doberman pinchers. Them some bad motherfuckers. They fast, too. They catch the average white boy. By the time they catch a nigga, though, they too tired to do anything. Right? Maybe get petted or some shit like that. You tired of running, boy? Sit your ass right there, then. Won't get on. You all right? I saw him let one loose on a young brother about 16 in an alley. Police jumped out the car and sicked the Doberman loose on him. The brother was low running. He was down in here. And the dog was on his ass. And it must have got good to the brother because he shifted into overdrive on the dog. Yeah, the brother had a cap on. He just went. And it looked like to me like the dog said, shit. Motherfuck that nigga, man. Shit, he gonna kill me out here, shit. Give me a biscuit, shit.
Attacked by a police K-9 unit is suing the St. Paul, Minnesota Police Department. Desiree Collins was taking out her trash when the dog clamped down on her arm back in September. She's 52, of course. She suffered bites to her arm and leg. Her attorney says the officers made several mistakes. The dog was on a 20-foot leash, which allowed it to venture to areas not visible to the police officer. The attorney says the department needs to train their officers so this doesn't happen to another innocent person. Now, here's the problem here. The officer in question was only suspended 1 day and then got 1 month of additional training.
Disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman. And as Muslims, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us to respect our women and to protect our women. And then the only time a Muslim really gets real violent is when someone goes to molest his woman. We will kill you for our woman. I'm making it plain, yes. We will kill you for our woman. We believe that if the white man will do whatever is necessary to see that his woman gets respect and protection, then you and I will never be recognized as men until we stand up like men and place the same penalty over the head of anyone who puts his filthy hands out to put in the direction of our women.
You white. You the prosecutor. You got to get elected. Huh? That county you live in, ain't no black folks in that county. So here's a white cop shoot 12 black folks dead. You think you gonna prosecute them? With them ignorant white folks that got to vote for you every 4 years, and you buying a house, or send your children to college, you got to pay insurance. You can't change that till you understand that and change that. How many black folks go to jobs that's dangerous, but they can't stop? They stop, they have to keep going. Now, how do you make a cop change? Simple. You pass legislation and say every cop have to be insured. So we take out policy. Everybody carry a gun. Have to be insured. The first time you violate that, you lose your license. If you're a cab driver, you can't drive your cab, you ain't got no license. Now, do you hate niggas more than you like feeding your family? Till your behavior changes. Make you like me. Make you have to be careful about the people you do like. And every cop, they choose to go to school for free. You got to give them something that they can't afford to lose. That's simple. You drive down the street, you get 5 moving tickets, you lose your license. That's what makes you stop that stuff.
But they don't. The system doesn't want to punish cops.
I didn't say that. I didn't ask you the question. I didn't say did they. I said here's how you do it. You telling me they don't want, huh?
I'm leading into something.
No, I don't want you to lead into something else. Cause my ignorant grandmother, you have to tell me they don't want to punish cops like I don't know that. Before your ass was born, I knew that. I said, give them something to lose. Do you hate me, motherfucker, more than you love your children? Huh?
A TikToker by the name of I Am 10 Toes spoke out about breaking generational racism among his folks. Check it out.
I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret about white people. Every single white person knows somebody who is racist. Racist towards black people, racist towards Spanish people. We all know somebody. It might be our family member, it might be a distant relative, it might be a coworker, might be an old friend, but we all know somebody. Personally, I come from a whole family of racist people. Yeah, my entire family is Republican too, okay? My dad's parents are racist, and my mom's parents are racist, okay? So, I'm literally going against everything by talking about this. I am putting my own life on the line by speaking about this, and that's what we all should be doing. See, we could have ended this a long time ago, but people like my mom listened to these racist comments that their parents were making and didn't speak out against it. They kept their mouths shut. Or they agreed with them silently, you know? But they didn't do anything about it. They continued to let this be passed on generation after generation. Oh, my mom never told me or taught me any racist ideologies. She continued to let it happen because she didn't speak out against it when her parents were talking about it, or my dad's parents were talking. So if you are against racism and you are against discrimination and you're a white person, you need to speak out about it. Otherwise, you are allowing this to continue generation after generation, and you are just as much a part of the problem as anybody else.
So yes, you heard him right. He said that white people could have stopped racism a long time ago by speaking out against it. He brought up his mother as a perfect example. He said while she may not necessarily be racist, but she allowed racism to continue within, her parent circle and her husband, which is his dad, I guess, by not speaking out against it. And he says if you're quiet about it as white people, you are pretty much condoning it as well. And so apparently he's going about breaking that and speaking out against it. And he is absolutely right. Racism could have ended a long time ago if white people would have stopped it, because oftentimes we in the black community get charged with stop racism. Oh, we have to do our part to stop racism, but we know we can't stop racism because we didn't start racism, and we know that black people have very little control of anything in this country, let alone stopping racism, right? So I agree with him 100%. It's going to take his folks to stop racism. But see, the problem is, we know that they benefit greatly from racism. They always have, right? They've always benefited from racism, which is why they are where they are in society due to the racism that they created. Will white people ever speak out wholeheartedly as, a majority against racism? Probably not. But in the meantime, we as black people can do our part, and that's not vote for racism. Because if y'all notice, he said most of his family are Republican, but it's not just the Republicans, it's the Democrats too that are very racist. So we can stop voting for racism, and we can stop spending with racism as much as we can, right? And start pouring into our black-owned businesses so that we can build something of our own. But again, I agree with him. It's on them to stop racism. Will they ever do that? Nah, probably not. But we should do all we can on our behalf to lessen the blow of racism.
I know all the speakers have 5 minutes to speak, but I wish it was 8 minutes and 46 seconds, not as a symbolic gesture, but as an actual exact time reference of how long George Floyd literally begged. He literally narrated a documentary of his death, begging for his life, saying, "I can't breathe," and calling for his mama. It's become painfully obvious that what we have right now are two systems of justice, one for white Americans and another for black Americans. Changing the behavior of police and their relationships with people of color starts at the top. We need a national standard for policing behavior built on transparency and accountability. Given the incidents that have led to this moment in time, it should be mandatory for police officers to wear body cams and should be considered obstruction of justice to turn them off. Reform how qualified immunity applies to police officers. If officers know they have immunity, they act with impunity.
We want freedom by any means necessary. We want justice by any means necessary. We want equality by any means necessary. We want it now, or we don't think anybody should have it.
So whatever kind of action program can be devised to get us the things that are ours by right, then I'm for that kind of action no matter what the action is. I don't think when a man is being criminally treated that some criminal has the right to tell that man what tactics to use to get the criminal off his back. When a criminal starts misusing me, I am going to use whatever necessary to get that criminal off my back. And the injustice that has been inflicted upon Negroes in this country by Uncle Sam is criminal. Don't blame a cracker in Georgia for your injustices. The government is responsible for the injustices. The government can bring these injustices to halt. And what you and I have to let the man know is we are peaceful people. We are loving people. We love everybody who loves us. But we don't love anybody who doesn't love us. We're nonviolent with people who are nonviolent with us. But we are not nonviolent with anyone who is violent with us.
They didn't knock on the door. Woo! Check out Angela.
You cannot come in my home. I did not give him permission
You did
to
not.
come.
He was.
Thank you. Talking about it's an altercation. I'm sitting
There
here
was
in
no
my bed.
altercation.
I don't give a damn what you heard. I don't give a damn what you heard. You understand what I'm saying? No, because this is my home and this is my property and I'm telling you to leave my home. That's what I'm telling you. This is my house. I pay these people. You crazy? Out your bed coming up in my house? You must be crazy coming up in here. Talking about you heard something. You heard me talking. I talk loud and I'm aggressive. And guess what? It did not knock on my door. There's no weapons here. There's nothing going on here. And you are violating my rights, sweetheart. Now, tell me that I'm fucking wrong. You can't, because I'm not wrong. You do not come in my home without my permission. Period. I don't care what you got. I don't care what you got. But guess what? If I had just came in the house and smoking a cigarette, this door would have been closed and your ass would have had to knock. You do not fucking come in my house without my permission. With your white ass, and I'm black, and I'm scared of you. So guess what? I don't care. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I'm screaming because I'm screaming because you're in my space.
that we are not brutalized because we're Baptist. We're not brutalized because we're Methodist. We're not brutalized because we're Muslim. We're not brutalized because we're Catholic. We're brutalized because we are black people in America.
When you are willing and not afraid anymore to pay the price for freedom, don't let this white man tell you that violence is wrong. Every damn thing that he got it by being violent, killing people, raping and robbing and murdering. He's doing it as we speak. And then he has the nerve to come and tell us that violence and hatred won't get it. Don't buy that. He's worthy to be hated. Worthy because of the evil that he does. God hates. I don't know why man think you're better than God when God in the Bible said he loved Jacob but he hated Esau. In the Bible, he said, no man can serve two masters. He'll love one and hate the other. They have made us little sheep that they can walk over and run over. But when we decide it's over, and we should make that decision, it's over. We're not taking it anymore, and we cannot pass on to another generation the legacy of our cowardice when we know the problem and won't move to erase the problem. That's our fault. We gotta change. See, one of the things that our ancient people knew, yours and mine, when it got to the point where they would be extinguished, they had to fight. Even if they lost, they had to fight. So the great warrior spirit came up out of us. Same with the blacks, same in Haiti, same in Central and South America. The Maroons, all of those came to a position where they had to fight. In that church, where 9 of our brothers and sisters were shot down by a skunk, how in the hell are we justified in offering him love and he offers us death?
Somebody asked me the other day,
Excuse me for my passion.
That's
brother.
okay. They asked me, can you forgive him? And I looked at him, I said, no, I cannot forgive him because he knew what he was doing. He was cold and calculated, and he was just fostering the same hate.
Who asked you that question, brother?
Did he look like us?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of them.
Yeah, I know.
How in the hell? I mean, it's an insult to
It
me
is an insult.
that you're going to ask me, can you forgive? How long have white people been doing this kind of evil to the darker people in the earth?
So how long
Since
do we have to
they've been
continue?
here. And when we make up our mind, we're not taking it no more. Because it's better to be dead than to live under tyranny all the days of your life. This is why America separated from England. The tyranny of King George was too much for them to bear. So what did they do? They decided death is better. So it was Patrick Henry that said, give me liberty or give me death. And until we come up with that kind of mind, I'd rather be dead than to live continuously under this kind of tyranny. And when you think like that, you'll do what is necessary to move the tyrant off of you. With the help of God, we will win if we fight.
This award, this is not for me. This is for the real organizers all over the country, the activists, the civil rights attorneys, the struggling parents, the families, the teachers, the students that are realizing that a system built to divide and impoverish and destroy us cannot stand if we do. All right? It's kind of basic mathematics. The more we learn about who we are and how we got here, the more we will mobilize. Now, this is also in particular for the black women, in particular, who have spent their lifetimes dedicated to nurturing everyone before themselves. We can and will do better for you. Now, what we've been doing is looking at the data, and we know that police somehow manage to de-escalate, disarm, and not kill white people every day. So what's going to happen is we are going to have equal rights and justice in our own country, or we will restructure their function and ours. Now, I got more, y'all. Yesterday would have been young Tamir Rice's 14th birthday. So I don't want to hear any more about how far we've come when paid public servants can pull a drive-by on a 12-year-old playing alone in a park in broad daylight, killing him on television and then going home to make a sandwich. Tell Rakia Boyd how it's so much better to live in 2012 than it is to live in 1612 or 1712. Tell that to Eric Garner. Tell that to Sandra Bland. Tell that to Dorian Hunt. Now the thing is, though, all of us in here getting money, that alone isn't going to stop this. All right? Now dedicating our lives to getting money just to give it right back for someone's brand on our body, when we spent centuries praying with brands on our bodies, and now we pray to get paid for brands on our bodies. There has been no war that we have not fought and died on the front lines of. There has been no job we haven't done. There's no tax they haven't levied against us, and we've paid all of them. But freedom is somehow always conditional here. You're free, they keep telling us. But she would have been alive if she hadn't acted so free. Now, freedom is always coming in the hereafter. But you know what, though? The hereafter is a hustle. We want it now. And let's get a couple things straight. Just a little side note. The burden of the brutalized is not to comfort the bystander. That's not our job. All right, stop with all that. If you have a critique for the resistance, for our resistance, then you better have an established record of critique of our oppression. If you have no interest in equal rights for black people, then do not make suggestions to those who do. Sit down. We've been floating this country on credit for centuries, yo. And we're done watching and waiting while this invention called whiteness uses and abuses us, burying black people out of sight and out of mind while extracting our culture, our dollars, our entertainment like oil, black gold, ghettoizing and demeaning our creations, then stealing them, gentrifying our genius, and then trying us on like costumes before discarding our bodies like rinds of strange fruit. The thing is that just because we're magic doesn't mean we're not real. Thank you.
She was allegedly shoplifting, but Shelley Frey's family says she shouldn't have been killed.
A uniformed Harris County deputy tried stopping them. They allegedly ran off, then tried peeling off in a car. But before they left the parking lot, that deputy fired, striking Fry in the neck as she sat in the passenger seat. He said he was between the car door and the driver's seat and feared for his safety.
Shelley was just a perfect mom, perfect friend. She was a perfect daughter.
Fry died at this apartment complex on Greens Parkway minutes afterward. Family members say the 27-year-old mother of two moved to Houston after Hurricane Katrina. She was limited by how much she could work, they say, because of a 2-year-old daughter with sickle cell anemia.
This is what you took from me and my family.
I just put my bag. Fry's parents drove straight through the night from New Orleans after someone from the complex told them what happened. And they're angry, saying they have yet to hear from investigators or to see their oldest daughter's body.
I can't eat, I can't sleep, I just need to know.
Even more than that, they say they need to know why the officer took the shot he did.
Why you just couldn't shoot the tile, shoot the window? Why you had to shoot my daughter? I just need to know, was it that serious?
Even if she did commit a crime, they say she didn't deserve death, or for two young children to lose a mother.
And I'm not telling these children, she's not coming back.
People, it's that bid horse, aka Comical Mischief, and here are my thoughts about the killing of Shelley Fry. Now, first of all, I want to speak to all of the young and the older people that look like myself. I am a black man. I'm not an African American. I'm not all that. I'm a black man. Now, you know, a lot of things that people did 10, 20 years ago constituted you just going to jail. Nowadays, my black people, it constitutes you being shot and killed by the very people that promise to protect and serve you. That doesn't happen anymore. You know, and I watched this story about 3 or 4 times, and I was like, well, maybe if she didn't put herself in that position. But I was like, hold up. You know, that's like saying if I was crossing the street and I got hit by a car. It's not my fault that that other driver couldn't control themselves or whatever happened. It's not my fault. Now, what I want to say is that just because Shelley Fry was wrong, because yes, her and her 2 other friends were wrong for shoplifting, but shoplifting does not constitute being shot in your neck and being taken away from your children. Now, he said that he was, now the officer said that he was in between the driver's seat and the car door. Now, here is where it gets a little weird to me. Why would he approach a car that he didn't know who was in it if they had weapons? You know, so then I went to thinking, I was like, he was looking for a deadly confrontation. That is the only reason, because if he was an off-duty, they said he was an off-duty police officer doing a second job that has 26 years of experience. I don't care about your experience, because people that have been doing the same job for 50 years make mistakes. So he should have known to get a detailed description of the vehicle, of the people driving the vehicle, and call 911. Now he was in a security guard role at this time, you know. But anyway, my thoughts is that there are targets on our backs, and yes, I will say that. You know, I legally carry a firearm, but I do not put myself in a position to have to use it. Now, if I have no other choices, yes, I will use it. But I got into a confrontation in my front yard, and probably legally I could have shot the guy and killed him. But I was like, I don't want to take a life if I don't have to. Nowadays, these police don't care. They will shoot you and deal with the consequences later. So all I'm saying is be careful, people. Also, you know, it's sad because Shelly Pryor was taken away from her 2 kids. One that had sickle cell. That's sad, man. I mean, this story really bothered me. You know, people are getting shot for the silliest things now. You know, people are shoplifting and they're getting murdered behind it. I think that the family should sue the city and state for wrongful death, and they should sue them for millions of dollars. But anyway, you know, Shelly Pryor, rest in peace to the Pryor family. My condolences go out to you all. I'm very sorry for your loss. All right, man. Y'all take it easy, man. Just that bit of us, please.
Now listen to me. Call the person who's coming to get you. Tell them they don't need to come. All right? Yes. Okay? So go ahead and call them. I'm going to take you to jail, and I'm going to impound the car.
Before that,
No.
I can't call them if you don't open the door.
Why can't you?
Because I will not put my...
Use your phone. It's in your lap right there.
I just don't want to put my hands down. I'm really sorry. I'm just...
You just do what you want.
No. I've just seen way too many videos of problems.
But you're not black. Remember, we only kill black people. Yeah, we only kill black people, right? All the videos you've seen, have you seen any white people get killed? You have.
18-year-old white boy gets hit 23 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying that you're bad.
Right.
That law enforcement could have handled the situation a lot differently.
The devastated family of Miriam Carey speak to the media just days after she was shot dead by police following a car chase in Washington, D.C. Her sisters told reporters that Miriam was suffering from postpartum depression while questioning why she had to die.
Miriam was not firing any shots. There were no weapons. So we're still very confused as a family as to why she's not alive.
Why was my sister shot and killed with her 1-year-old daughter in the car and she was unarmed? Why? My mother deserves to know why.
34-year-old Carey had her 1-year-old baby in the car with her on Thursday when she tried to drive her car through a barrier near the White House before speeding away towards Capitol Hill, leading police on a high-speed chase that ended when her car got stuck on a median. Officers then shot her. Her sisters disputed reports suggesting that Miriam may have been suffering from schizophrenia or bipolar disorder. Carey took medication and had counselling, but according to her sisters, she was not walking around with delusions, and they've questioned the need to shoot her.
If someone is having a crisis, if someone do have a momentary, moment of instability, any citizen, how do the people that are put in place to protect, how do they help you? How do they figure out what is happening and, operate in a way that they can contain the situation and give you the help that you deserve?
The incident came at a time of high political tension in the US Capitol, with Congress debating how to resolve the shutdown of the federal government when shots rang out. 2 officers were hurt in Thursday's incident. One was a Secret Service officer who was struck by the suspect's car outside the White House. Kerry's daughter was unharmed.
What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat, or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load, or does it explode?
Today's Sandy Speaks is going to focus directly on my white people. What I need you to understand is that being a black person in America is very, very hard.
I will light you up. Get out! Wow. Now!
Sandy called me, let me know that she had been arrested. How do you go from failure to signal a lane change to dead in jail by alleged suicide?
I believe she let them know, I'll see you guys in court, and I believe they silenced her.
Do I think this jail have anything to do with her death? No. But moral responsibility-wise, absolutely.
want change, we can truly make it happen. Sandy Speaks.
Another black woman found dead in police custody. This makes 3 in 2 weeks. I'm talking about 37-year-old black woman Ralkina Jones, who was found dead in her jail cell in Cleveland Heights City Jail over the weekend. Police accused her of striking her ex-husband in the arm with a tire iron outside of a Save-A-Lot food store. She then hopped into a car and allegedly came a few feet away from running over her ex and his friend with her 11-year-old daughter in the back seat. So police arrested her, and then her ex-spouse decided not to press charges against her. The Cuyahoga County Medical Examiner performed a preliminary autopsy and said the woman had suffered no suspicious injuries, but a full report has not yet been released. In a statement, officials said the woman was observed by medical professionals 3 times from Saturday evening into Sunday morning. At 7:15 p.m. Saturday night, officers noticed that she appeared a little sluggish, and they phoned Cleveland Heights Fire Department. At 10:40, a little over 3 hours later, she was released back to the jail after an evaluation at a local hospital. And then at 12:45 a.m., just 45 minutes into Sunday, she was checked. Her vital signs appeared normal. Just 7 hours later, 7:30 a.m., she was found unresponsive on her bed. The woman's sister, Renee Ashford, told Cleveland.com that her sister was absolutely fine when they spoke to her on Saturday. Quote, "She didn't complain of nothing, saying she was hurting or anything." So there's a couple layers to this. Crisis number 1 is a third black woman dies in police custody in less than 2 weeks. The bigger crisis is that 2 people per day are dying in police custody. According to USA Today, over 2,000 people died in police custody in the US in just 3 years. This is about 2 per day. Now, when we look at the data, when we look at just the chance that any person will die, and then you look at the number of people that have died in police custody as a percentage of all of those in police custody, the numbers aren't particularly alarming, but you have to consider that we need to explore why it's not happening slightly less in police custody. In other words, not all of these deaths are natural deaths, deaths of natural causes. So as such, we have to figure out, why is it that in police custody, there's essentially no difference in how likely people are to die, even when you include these sort of non-natural ways that people sometimes die?
Yeah, other than some strange medical situation where this might have happened anyway, it's really something that, I don't think I need to tell this to everyone, but shouldn't be happening at all, right? I mean, this is 100% avoidable.
Many of these cases are. So in this particular one, we don't yet know. She seemed fine, was checked out medically Saturday night, Sunday morning, unresponsive and dead. So we definitely need to look at that. I want to put aside for a second, though, the sort of deliberate bad acts by police. We know that sometimes these happen. Sometimes there are specific bad acts by police. Let's put that aside. The broad issue for me is that we clearly have a situation where most police, many police, too many police, are not properly trained to deal with mental health issues. In Northampton, Massachusetts, where our program started, police are far better trained on this, more social worker type skills, more non-traditionally law enforcement type intervention skills. It is far from a perfect department, Louis, but they do have training, at least some training, in many skills that too many police departments don't really have. Many of them just don't have the right skills to approach situations with ideas and strategies and resources that go beyond sort of the traditional, stereotypical law enforcement behaviors.
Right. I mean, we could start a very long discussion about this, about funding and about how, different police departments have their priorities. It's a complicated issue.
No question about it. And we're going to continue following these particular stories and the broader issue of police having some more training in terms of sort of emotional and psychological support that may stem from a 911 call, but really shouldn't be handled with tasers and guns and handcuffs in many cases.
Prior to today, I've made a decision. I had decided to keep my grief private and home. But today, I have to record. I want the world to know what a mother goes through when your child is stolen and executed for no reason. India Kager, my daughter, was 27 years old. 27, my baby. Sitting in a car at a 7-Eleven with my 4-month-old grandson Roman in the backseat. Virginia Beach Police SWAT, not a regular uniform team, the SWAT team ambushed my daughter's car, blocked her car. They threw a flashbang grenade at her car, knowing she was in the car, knowing my grandson was in the car. They fired 30 rounds. Who does that? How do you do that? You know, as a woman in a car. How do you do that? 30 rounds. And they executed my baby in less than 3 hours of her being in Virginia Beach. She lived here in Maryland with us. And they won't release the names of the officers. There were 4 SWAT officers fired on her with Virginia Beach Police, but there were many more involved. How do you have a conscience? How do you do this? Please help me. Please help me. I have 2 grandsons. Roman, he was in the car. India protected him. She had bullet wounds in her back. I've seen her pictures. In her back. My daughter turned. In her back. Oh, God, help me. I can't even tell you how bad this hurts. There are no words to articulate this. I'm gonna put it out. I won't stop fighting for my baby. I won't stop fighting for India. I won't stop fighting for Roman. I won't stop fighting for Evan. And I won't stop fighting for Mr. Perry because he did not have due process of law. There was no arrest warrant out for him. But my daughter was in the car. They saw her. They took her life. Why? Why? How do you do that? And you have a conscience. How do you do that? They're with their families. I don't have my baby. Please help me. Please.
mother shot to death by a Baltimore County police officer back in August of 2016. That jury awarded Corinne Gaines' family more than $37 million in a civil lawsuit against the county and the officer who pulled the trigger. ABC 2 News' Nadia Singh spoke to her family just minutes after the verdict came down today.
My heart is broken, and I will never get my baby back.
Corinne Gaines' mother, Rhonda Dormius, hugs family outside of the Baltimore County Courthouse.
She's gone. Her children are motherless. Her fiance, it doesn't have his woman in his life anymore. You know, it's just my whole family has been ripped apart.
She spoke with ABC2 just moments after winning a wrongful death civil trial against the county and the officer who shot and killed her daughter in August 2016, Royce Ruby.
For him to go and shoot her in her back through a wall and he couldn't even see her, the evidence proved that he could not see her.
Jurors ruled the county and Ruby didn't act reasonably when Gaines was shot. It happened during a 6-hour standoff that left Gaines dead and her young son Cody wounded.
And these things that I've been dealing with my daughter being gone has just ripped me apart. I'm not mad with Officer Ruby. I don't even have any space in my heart to be mad because my heart is broken.
In September 2016, Baltimore County State's Attorney Scott Schellenberger said no criminal charges would be filed against Ruby.
What was more important than anything else is for them to find that Royce Ruby's shot was objectively unreasonable. They found that.
The jury awarded the family more than $37 million for medical and funeral expenses, plus pain and suffering. The suffering never goes away.
He still got away with murder. That's my main thing. Like I said, the money is fine and dandy. It's for the kids. It'll secure the kids. I'm pretty sure my sister is loving that right now. Our kids' future is secure. That's all she wanted.
Its name was Fantability. Her death was already the source of tremendous sadness in Sharon Hill. Now, though, that grief has been compounded with word that it was likely an officer's bullet that killed her. Tonight, race and culture reporter Taronda Thomas has the latest as all involved here search for answers.
They're very, very upset and want answers.
And one of those answers has finally come to the family of 8-year-old Fantability. The Delaware District Attorney's Office now says there's a high probability that the bullet that struck Fanta was fired from a police officer's gun.
They're just very, very distraught.
The grieving family now speaking through attorney Bruce Castor.
I've talked to them pretty much every day.
He says the DA's investigation has gotten the cooperation of Sharon Hill police, who have recovered the car, but not the suspect who started the shooting.
There were upwards of 25 shots fired. We don't know if all of them were fired by police, but it certainly appears to be that the vast majority of them, almost all.
Police fired those shots last Friday night at the Academy Park High School football game. Investigators say a suspect started shooting from a car as people were leaving the game. One of those shots was fired towards Sharon Hill police officers, who then returned fire. Fanta was killed. Her 13-year-old sister and another boy were injured.
You gotta believe that it wasn't intentional.
and it's just awful.
I feel scared. Like, this could happen to anybody.
A ballistics test will determine if the fatal shot definitely came from police. Even if it did, the suspect who started the shooting could be charged with Fanta's murder.
The person who was involved in firing those shots and starting this off could face secondary murder charges.
The DA's office will make a decision on whether to file charges against police as this community continues to mourn a little life lost.
I think it's like really sad. I mean, she was so young.
As people continue to try to make sense of this, investigators are turning to the public for help. They ask anyone with information on the identity of the suspect who fired at police to step forward. In Sharon Hill, Taronda Thomas, Channel 6 Action News.
From the shooting that happened last Thursday. Before we show you the body camera video, we want to warn you it is disturbing. Now's the time to mute the TV or leave the room if need be.
Now, this incident happened at the Kroger on Sunbury Road in Blendon Township. That location is closed today, but is expected to reopen tomorrow morning.
And clearly this
camera footage from each of the two officers who were involved in the incident last Thursday. Each video from each officer is a minute long as the confrontation with Takaya Young plays out in just a matter of seconds. The first officer to interact with Takaya Young approaches her car under the suspicion that she stole liquor from Kroger.
Hey, stop. Hey, out of the car. Out of the car.
By the time the second officer gets to the car and walks in front of it, the first officer had asked Young to get out 5 times. He keeps asking. Young argues. You can hear the exchange on that officer's body-worn camera.
Out of the car. Out of the car. They said you stole stuff, do not leave. Get out of the car. Then get out. No, then get out. Get out of the car.
Young begins to drive. In this freeze frame, you can see the car make contact with the officer standing at the front of the car as his feet leave the ground. That is when that officer fires one shot through the windshield. We've paused the video to not show that deadly shot. When we pick up the video a moment later, you can hear the commands continue. The car rolls through the parking lot, stopping under the awning by the store. The video ends with officers busting the driver's side window to get Young out of the car.
people who know Takaya Young.
Yeah, Caleb, what are they telling you?
Well, Jenna and Jared, they tell me that Takaya Young was the life of the party. Anytime she was around, it was a really good time. They say she loved her two little boys with all of her heart, and she was also very close with her family. Now, as we all can expect, this was a very emotional day for the family. It was the first time they got to see that body cam video from the Blendon Township Police Department of that shooting. We were here this morning when the family came to the police department to view that video for the very first time. They were inside for less than 10 minutes and left not too long after that. In the statement from Blendon Township Chief of Police John Belford, he says this situation is a tragedy and is asking for prayers for the family during this time. I also spoke with Sean Walton, the attorney for Takaya Young and her family. He's been calling for this body cam video to be released all week long and says Young did not deserve to die. Are you surprised by what you saw?
I'm not surprised because based on what the police chief stated he saw, I think what is most surprising and what wasn't quite clear was how quickly the gun came out and why. It's a tragedy, but more than anything, it's a crime, and he should be immediately terminated and arrested.
My
want help with?
Huh?
What do you want help with?
I heard somebody outside.
Yeah, we checked your house, we checked your backyard. I walked all the way through all these backyards. We checked your front yard.
But you know what I want? I want justice for my baby.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. You killed the wrong black woman this time.
Amen. Amen.
What is your last name? Shouldn't have to think about your last name. You're not in trouble. I just need to text. Huh?
Massey.
You have an ID, that'd make things so much easier. I just driver's license will do.
But I want to tell y'all, the sheriff is here is an embarrassment. Because this man should have never had a badge. He should have never had a gun. He should have never been given the opportunity to kill my child.
I don't know where my ID is.
You have that stack right there, maybe?
1 second.
Check on her.
Let me get this.
We don't need a fire while we're here.
Right. Let me see. Okay.
Huh? Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I was rebuking you in the name of Jesus.
Huh?
Rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
You're not, that's what I got. I'll shoot you right in your face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the pot!
This man had 2 convictions for DUI. He had a conviction for driving under the influence. And he was a member of law enforcement? What an embarrassment. What an embarrassment to this country, to this county.
Black Lives Matter includes all gender pronouns. The ever-evolving, unjust subjugation of our women has powered the Say Her Name movement, a call for increased attention, activism, and accountability for the lives of black women and girls. Since 2014, the number of black female bodies taken by racialized police violence has risen substantially. We don't want excuses. We don't want apologies. We want cops held accountable for their actions. Let's examine some recent cases. In 2010, Joseph Weekley murdered a sleeping 7-year-old named Ayanna Stanley Jones, then escaped conviction. In 2012, Dante Servant shot Rakia Boyd in the back of the head and was later cleared of all charges. In 2015, we were exposed to the infamous McKinney, Texas pool party, where Desiree Becton, an unarmed black teenage girl, was excessively beaten as she sobbed and asked for her mother. Later that year, nationwide protests broke out in response to the death of Sandra Bland, who was arrested by Waller County, Texas officers and found hanging from a noose in a jail cell just 3 days later. During her arrest, Officer Brian Encina told Sandra Bland, "I will light you up. Get out now." All of these instances influenced the outrage that followed the March 2020 death of Breonna Taylor, who was fatally shot by Louisville police as a result of a mistaken no-knock warrant. As of June 23, 2020, one of the 3 policemen has been fired, while the other 2 officers have been placed on reassignment. None of the officers face criminal charges. Demand these policies to address black women's experience with policing. 1. Call to pass the End Racial Profiling Act of 2015, which for the first time includes a ban on racial profiling based on gender, gender identity, and sexual orientation. It encourages local police departments to adopt and enforce gender and sexuality inclusive racial profiling bans. 2. Call for the enactment and enforcement of zero tolerance policies towards sexual harassment and assault of members of the public by police officers. 3. Call for a comprehensive ban on confiscation, use, mere possession, or presence of condoms as evidence of any prostitution-related offense. 4. Call for use of force policies to prohibit the use of tasers or excessive force on pregnant women or children. Are our women really angry, or are the officers angry? The latter is the truth.
We declare our right on this earth to be a man, to be a human being, to be respected as a human being, to be given the rights of a human being in this society, on this earth, in this day, which we intend to bring into existence by any means necessary.